Good Tuesday morning, and welcome to Ice Age TV, the internal combustion engine age conversations, and all those other good things that we talk about here on the Ice Age. And wow, something's wrong. The trash man has not been by. Very unusual. Actually, I got up earlier this morning to get work in order for the work up north. So actually, it's kind of doing things kind of reverse this morning because just way too many things going on work-wise. Down here, still working. People may not believe that, but I have fun, but I work too. But where is the garbage man? Wow. Yesterday, spent some time in the pool, and my dad, it's kind of hard to tell. I'm going to see if you can even tell a difference. These driveways get so trashed from all these trees. Yeah. My dad I set my dad up yesterday to power wash. Yeah, my dad wanted to power wash the driveway, and you can actually see it here. So he did this half all the way down, and then he stopped because he ran out of light. Didn't get on this till later yesterday, and it's all about him getting the yard. The yard's getting all torn up here with everybody driving into the yard, and it's all dirty. But anyways, he stopped, and geez, has the garbage service stopped here? And yeah, so today on the Ice Age TV, and I thought to myself, stop. I thought to myself, wow, boy, oh boy, do we use the words? Here's a pretty good shot. So my dad obviously cleaned this here with the pressure washer. I bought him years ago. It's sitting over here in the corner of the garage. It gets used every now and then, for the money. It does what it can do, but it's very difficult down here, very challenging with these trees. Trees just trash your vehicle. So anyways, yeah, I thought these could be about stop. More than ever, what's being stopped. And I thought that would be the theme. So here's the bikes. Didn't have a chance to ride yesterday. Too much work, too many things going on. Start this morning to make my channel. Nobody watch my channel. You notice a lot of times you don't get this video till later in the morning. Just because of this no good internet service this guy right here has in his house. So it's just, see, I'm so late in getting this video going, they're back from their routine. I haven't had any coffee either. How about that? Is that crazy? Yeah, so the troublemakers are here. So how can I stop the noise to make a YouTube video, right? So, oh my goodness gracious, yeah, the stoppage. What? Being I have the YouTube channel. I'll tell you what. Before I get going on that, man, we did drive over to Costco yesterday to get some food, and wow, place is packed. Man, you hear there's so many YouTube videos out there that people are claiming people have stopped spending money. I ain't seeing it. I just ain't seeing it. I'm sorry. That place was a zoo. Beyond believable. And the food prices, when did the food prices stop going up? Sincerely. And now the gas prices apparently are going to start going back up too. So one of those is going to stop going back up. I don't know. I haven't really been fixated on that. But the whole thing is, let's see here, what am I going on this morning? So, when does when does the inflation stop, right? Yeah, just when does all the craziness stop? And so, but one thing I thought was a really good article I read on Ken Block. If you know who Ken Block is, incredibly sad story this morning. 55 years old. I'm sure most of the motorheads that watch my channel are well aware of it because of all the automotive world knows. But Ken Block, the drifting rally guy, just an incredibly talented guy, sadly killed himself snowmobiling yesterday when he upended his snowmobile on top of him. Very sad. Brand new Sea-Doo. I'm not a snowmobile person, but it's the latest, greatest Sea-Doo snowmobile, turbocharged. And apparently he was up in some really deep elevation, snow, really, I guess, kind of a radical hill going up the side of a mountain, whatever. And he was actually doing videos on his Twitter and his YouTube channel about him being out snowmobile with a bunch of other snowmobile enthusiasts. And apparently on his own, I guess he kind of tracked off on his own to go do whatever. And he killed himself. It was just beyond sad. I mean, he has 3 children, a wife. He has a daughter, Leah, Lia, Leah, I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not real sure. And I know there's even a follower of him. I didn't even really know about him until just a few years ago, but other people, I'm sure, followed him for years. Incredible. And the guy, it's just like a Steve Irwin story. If you know Steve Irwin, the crocodile guy that just was incredibly talented to capture, the stray or the animals and the wild kingdom. And then he brought his daughter, what's it? I can't think of her. It's like Brittany, not Brittany, but anyways, such a similar story where the stingray killed him. So yeah, very sad day to day for many people that are so close to him. So for my God bless all of them, please, prayers, condolences. I mean, Jesus Christ, just beyond believable to think about his daughter that's was gonna probably follow in his footsteps to a degree. Who knows? I mean, but he was definitely nurturing her to go that direction. So I can't even imagine what his daughter is going through, because what an incredible man and presence. So just wow. So, whew. Yeah, did he stop the automotive world for a moment to think about him? I think we did. I mean, I read about that late last night. Yeah, so very, very sad. They stopped. If you watch the Bills and what was it, the Bills and Bengals game, unfortunately, this guy, what's it, Durham, the free safety for the Bills, he had an impact hit, and his heart stopped. Basically, he had cardiac arrest failure. So they actually stopped the game. Wow, stopped. Yeah, this is kind of where I kind of came up with my thought of stop. Jesus, I was watching the game last night with my dad. And we're sitting there and watch that all play out, which that was a sad moment to witness that horrific, hit, and then what happened afterwards. So, wow. Got to get my coffee this morning, and Jesus Christ. So, wow, that stuff's hot. Woo, why did that stuff cool down faster? Man almighty. Yeah, so, stop. So then I read about the Ford stopping the production of the Predator motor, which is interesting to me. The Predator motor for Ford is the GT500 name. Ford names their motors. Like animal names, Coyote, Godzilla, I shouldn't say, creatures, I guess you could say. The Godzilla motor, the Voodoo motor, that's not necessarily a creature, but they name their motors kind of unique names, pretty neat names. And the Predator motor I thought was going to be the motor for the F-150 Raptor, which it is, but they're calling it the Carnivore, I think, motor. So what's going on is the Romeo, Michigan plant has stopped building the Predator motor, but they're stopping the production of any motors at the Romeo facility, and they're transferring everything to the Dearborn assembly plant. So the stoppage of the Predator motor, there's a whole article I read last night on like Car and Driver magazine or Road and Track, that these journalists went on October 18th to see the final 3 Predator motors built. And apparently one of the final motors had got everybody's signature, because two people put the motors together. There's is that kind of how it worked out, where they built these handmade, custom-built motors. So GT500, the 760 horsepower supercharged motor. And so anyways, it was just a really good tribute to the Romeo factory of close to 25 years of building high-performance, handmade performance engines for the Mustang line of vehicles, and some other performance vehicles, I guess you could say. I don't know if it's primarily Mustang, but it kind of resonated that. But anyways, on October 18th, the last Predator engine was built to be built ever. It's over. And the Carnivore motor now is for the Raptor R F-150, because it's a detuned Predator motor, and the supercharger is different. or to this degree. So it's not, they're not calling it the same engine in the F-150 Raptor. So for me, that has the GT500s, I now have engines that will never ever be built again, ever. It's over. The stoppage. So they stopped building the Predator motor, just like for the Hellcats. The end of 2023, you'll probably read an article about the last Red Eye motor, the stoppage of, the Brandon assembly plant or the Mexico assembly plant, wherever they make the motors. I'm not even real clear on that. To be honest, I think it's Mexico is where they put those Hellcat motors together. I think. Could be wrong with that. Should know, being the Hellcat guy, really. Right? Yeah, Jesus Christ, come on. Don't you know your cars talk, man? Your motorhead, right? I get you. So much information. So the stoppage, so here you go. Ford has now stopped production of the GT500, and another GT500 will come along in the S650 series. I'm sure of that. I would give it 2 years. I would think that's going to be a 2026 model, 2025 model. I would think a 2026, just because I think it's too soon out of the gate. But you never know. Things could change. And what does that thing have in power? Yeah. That'll be very interesting to see how that plays out. What does that do to my GT500s? What is the more of the knowledge of GT500's done? What does that do to the values? I don't know. It seems like the values are just kind of tame right now. I don't think they're crazy. And then like the Hellcats. I get the Hellcats, the Red Eye motors. So those are coming to a stoppage. So in the automotive world, it's really more than ever, I think we're witnessing the stoppage of the Ice Age. Yeah. So that's another thing I think about is we have the stop. We're coming to there's more movement than ever to stop the Ice Age. Think about that. That more than ever in your lifetime, you're hearing conversations all the time about the sitting bodies, world bodies, governing bodies, green agenda, Greenpeace. The list goes on and on and on of wanting to stop the production of ICE vehicles. So when we're witnessing that movement, as I spoke about yesterday, the electric vehicles are on the move, and that doesn't look like that's going to slow down anytime soon. With all the infrastructure being built, all the money's being invested, it's all about the money grab. I mean, I've said that years ago, that it's a transfer of wealth from the Saudi Arabia oil fields to the Chinese mining fields. I mean, that's all that's happening. And at the end of the day, does it stop the global warming? Does it stop the destruction of what mankind does to Mother Earth? I mean, does it resolve? Does it stop the problems? Does the EV age stop the problems? I don't think it is. I don't think that that's going to stop the problems. I think it's going to help it. It's so debatable in so many different ways on how you look and evaluate the EVs saving and stopping the challenges of Mother Nature, which we can go in depth in that. That's infinite talk of the variables and unknowns and the science, and do we stop the science, right? So yeah, stoppage. What else is going on? What else are they stopping? I mean, if you think about, the automotive industry, we just kind of talked about that, about how the green agenda is getting the movement to stop the ICE. I don't think it's going to happen anytime soon, but who knows? I mean, it's definitely 10 year, 15, 20 years probably away. But man, I tell you what, a year just passed. We're already 3 years into another decade. Gee whiz. Wow. Yikes. 10-year increments. Wow. They seem to go by faster than you realize you progress in life. Yeah, how do you stop time? Yeah, whether you're here physically or not, how do you stop time? Even though for Ken Block and all the people around him and family, do you think they feel like they've been stopped in time? Wow. Wow, beyond just not even, just wow. That guy was so cool. He just seemed to be a level-headed guy. He just seemed to be kind of a guy that just was a donator to life. That's what you see in life is such incredible people we lose in our life that are just incredibly talented people. But then you have the biggest piece of junk people in the world that create havoc among others and do so much destruction to others, but they never frickin' stop. Yeah. Anybody know these stories? Yeah, right. And then when is the Ukraine-Russia war going to stop? And why didn't we stop Russia from going in Ukraine? I mean, I just beyond believable. And then when does Elon Musk stop sharing all of the lies? I mean, is he really? When does he stop? Now there's going to be the Fauci files. So you're hearing this. Now you're going to see the Fauci files, where since Dr. Fauci now has stopped the rhetoric and he's now retiring. So you no longer continue to tell you how to live your life and whatever else. Yeah, that gets all people wound up on the different views of the science and everybody knows everything and blah blah blah. But yeah, when does Elon Musk stop disclosing all the dirt, on others? And is it actual factual? I mean, it's going to be really interesting as time progresses. But does the TT deal stop Elon Musk's wealth? Tesla. They're saying now Tesla had one of their best years, but they were short, so they were stopped of their goal of like 1.4 million vehicles. They had a 50% growth projection for 2022, but they were stopped short of that due to the supply chain, or the distribution. That's what Elon Musk is saying, is that the goal of hitting like 1.4 million vehicles was stopped at like 1.2, shy of 1.3. So he hit about a 40% growth rate. So he didn't hit that 50% number, but he claims it was stopped because of how they deliver the vehicles. I mean, I don't know. Who knows that? But Elon Musk has lost Tesla's lost $658 billion in value. Can you just think about that? GM and Ford, all the automotive guys all together couldn't lose that to even be standing. I mean, $658 billion, where the guys always just have been always the cult. I truly believe that Tesla had the cult. The people buying, the stock it up to what, $900 one time, $1,200, $1,300. They had to do a 3-way split, 5-way split. I mean, but now it's lost like 68% of its value. Why is that? And then there's articles being talked about a lot of Tesla people, since Elon has come out with his Twitter views and who he's showing who he really is. A lot of people are no longer a Tesla fan because he's too right. He's obviously showing more of a right-hand agenda than a left-hand agenda as far as the way he speaks, but as far as agenda, I'll take that back. He's still promoting the green agenda. Is that more left than right? I don't know, but the whole point is he's irked a lot of his followers. So a lot of people are getting rid of their Teslas. So is he going to continue his unbelievable growth that he had in the last 2-3 years? I can't see it personally. I think that the heyday for Tesla is over. Just too much competition. All the big manufacturers are stopping the production of ICE vehicles to convert to EV vehicles. And they're projecting, Elon Musk says by 2030, his goal to have 20 million sales of Tesla worldwide. That's a pretty big number, because in a good year for just this country alone, between every manufacturer in the whole world that sells cars here, it hits 18 to 20 million. So Elon Musk is projecting up 20 million sales of Tesla throughout the world. But they're saying for him to have that accomplished, he'll need like 12 or 15 factories. He only has like 2 or 3 or something. I don't even know the exact number, but they're saying that for him to accomplish that, he's going to have to spend a lot of money to get a lot of factories. But with all the competition, all the change and dynamics of transportation, I don't see it. I think, where does Elon go with Tesla TTs? Yeah, so when does he stop the rhetoric? Yeah, I can't see that happening. Yeah, and where's the Cybertruck? That was stopped on production. Where's that truck, right? I'm not interested in that, but anyway. So then you go to more stoppage stuff. You just think here in the last, like this city administration versus the other city administration. So it seems like the incoming administration wanted to stop the funding of the police. Has that really taken hold? Well, it seems like it. Seems like they're saying New York City, more people retire out of the police force than are hired. So in New York City, I guess the people have stopped applying to be a police officer because they see how everybody's treated, which a lot of variables that. I get all that, the love and hate of the police. I get that. Nobody's perfect, but at the same time. And then you look at there's so many different news stories out there that you hear. Like they supposedly this administration has stopped the new oil well drilling capability. I mean, I don't know, is that factual? And then you can go into there's a lot of new laws that are coming to light here January 1st, and they're in California. Apparently they just passed a new bill that will stop anybody from persecuting anybody from letting a child change their gender and help them change gender. So apparently California has all these new laws written in their state saying that anybody that takes their kid to California, you can take your kid to California as long as you can show that your state doesn't support transgender, change. And so if you go to California and you feed your kids all these different drugs and do these operations on your kid, or the kid, in all sincerity, the kid can do it all themselves, and the law protects them from any information being disclosed to anybody. It's just unbelievable. So, you just see yourself, so 7, 8-year old, 9, 10-year-old kid's going to go to Florida, California, or he lives in California. Yeah, I get all that. But the whole point is in California, they've passed radical laws that protect individuals from changing their identity as, adolescents, basically. I mean, it's just like weird stuff. And everybody thought that Jeffrey Epstein was a weird guy. I mean, come on. I mean, sincerely, Jeffrey Epstein was, called out. The guy hung himself because, yeah, right. Yeah, he hung himself. Yeah, we know that story, right? Yeah, and they're looking at him as being the whack job, right? But yet we have city governing bodies that are passing laws for children to change their identity and to do whatever they want to do to their body, and you have no control over that. And if anybody takes your kid and takes them to California and does all that, you can't persecute them. I mean, is this believable? I mean, is this like a fairy tale? Is this a Harry Potter, radical story? I'm not into all these, is this gothic stuff? I mean, what is going on? Wow. Yeah, but here's the irony of all that. See, New York State has the on-site drug facility now. So if you live in New York City, you can go down to like Manhattan, not Manhattan, like Brooklyn, New York. And if you're a druggie, you can go to an on-site facility and do drugs, and they'll administer them to you to do your drugs. And New York's trying to promote that this helps people from not ODing, and in some cases, maybe gets the people away from the drugs because people are there to try to help them go through their drug addictions. So in New York State, they've Bill de Blasio passed this law in 2021. It's a kind of an experiment going on. But Gavin Newsom in California thinks that that's a total, beyond believable view or idea that you would do that. And they've banned that idea in the San Francisco, LA cities, so for Gavin Newsom, he thinks Bill de Blasio is a whack job for opening up on-site drug use facilities. But then on the other hand, he's the guy that's allowing any kid to come to his state but be protected by their laws to have operations on themselves and do whatever they can to themselves without any parental authority. I mean, you can't make this stuff up. Wow. I think Gavin Newsom's going to be the next guy that's going to be running for the presidency. So I really think that Gavin Newsom will be on the ticket for presidency. He'll follow Ronald Reagan, who came from California. And I really think that these type of, views and ideas will gain steam beyond believable. I mean, really? Wow. Yikes. Scary, if you think about it. Oh my gosh. So there's another stop thing. What other things are going on? Then that there's the bill passed that you can't carry a gun. Then they pass a bill you can carry a gun. Well, Alabama, they just put a stop on CCW permits. So meaning that in Alabama you can have a concealed weapon and you don't have to have a license. So they put a stop on having to apply for a license. It's like here in Florida, my brother has a CCW. Okay, I mean, lots of people have CCW. A lot of people never step back and think that guy you're getting ready to go beat up. You hear these stories that they got a freaking gun, man. You can't see it, but as you get ready to take them down, bing, bam, boom, a few pops, and it's over. So in Florida, they're very pro on the gun laws to protect yourself. And in Alabama, now they're even more pro. You can, up in Virginia, up in Virginia, you have open carry, but you're not going to do it. If I walk into Walmart with a gun, on a holstered gun on my pants, and I walk into Walmart, the police are going to be called instantly. I'm going to be hauled out front, and they're going to say, man, Iceman, you can't do that. You cannot do it, even though it's an open carry. This ain't Texas where it's gunslinging people walking around, shooting the rattlesnakes and the wild boar, and the list goes on and on. There was, the rancher. It just has a whole different environment. But where up I live, it just isn't going to happen. So you need to get a CCW. In a lot of states, it's about, yeah. Yeah, you have to give away. I mean, a lot of states you're just not going to get anywhere. I mean, they have the laws are so strict that you're not going to get a license. So yeah, so the stoppage, and as we know, the whole continued theme is stop the gun purchases, stop the gun ownership. But where is the stoppage of the incredible drug-related deaths in our country? Over 1 million people have died from fentanyl here since like the last 10 years. Got to get some more coffee here. What's the big story here? Oh, so this is it right here I was talking about last night. What's the markets doing? Are the markets going to stop going up or stop going down? Is the hop getting more expensive or stop? Um, are the interest rates going to stop going up? I mean, there's so many things you can talk about. Stop, right? Stop your car. Yeah, how your brakes doing, right? Yeah, do you check those every now and then? Right. It's incredible how in today's technology, everything's electronic driven and it's fly by the wire. Yeah. And if that fly by the wire gets intercepted by somebody else's fly by the wire that hacks your car, you're not stopping. Yeah. You remember the paranoia of that years ago? Where's that gone? Has it happened? Have people started hacking the people's cars? Remember the Tesla stories? A guy went down the road and he hacked a Tesla going down the road and he could control it. Yikes. Yeah. They stop that. They stop a lot of things. Think about the media holds back a lot of information. I mean, does it? Does it really? Does it stop the talk? I don't know. It just seems I've been talking a lot about how it just seems like the stop of the violence in the streets has happened. The stop of the hate has kind of happened. I mean, once again, who's running the show, right? And so let's see here. What are these guys going to be talking about? Yeah, so they stopped McCarthy for being the new Speaker of the House. Yeah, what's that all about? It's all the politics. When do we funding of businesses to politicians? When do we stop that? I mean, you hear this talk all the time that when political figures run for office, they have to disclose who's giving all their money, or do they? I mean, there's all these different angles that they tried. I mean, I thought Obama was going to shut down the funding of politicians to be elected. Didn't he run off that platform? Does anybody remember Obama back when he was just getting going in his political career and promising all this stuff that he's going to do? Does anybody remember that stuff? I mean, I don't know if anybody remembers that stuff or not, but he sure did an incredible lot of yakking and talking about all the stuff he's going to do to help the little guy. Yeah, I don't know, but I can get deep, so I'm not going to go down that road. But the whole point is, when does the businesses stop paying all these politicians? I mean, sincerely. I mean, when does that stop? It won't. It's never going to stop. That's how the ball game works. Is they're gonna fund these politicians to get their agenda. I mean, I'm pretty sure the pharmaceutical industry has the most lobbyists downtown. I think it's thousands. Well, what's the most profitable or lucrative industry in this country? Probably the healthcare industry. Oh, well, actually, the NCAA. That's one of the most lucrative businesses in the frickin' country outside of the politics. But here's the thing. Have you heard about this? The name, image, likeness. I never even. Yesterday I was at the pool. An older gentleman was hanging out there, and we started talking. And we were talking about the college football going on, and then he brought up that these college players are now getting paid big money. And I was like, wow, I mean, colleges are paying the athletes at the colleges. And he said, yeah. And I'm like, I never heard that. So, and I'm not here to call the guy out, but I don't think he understands that. What I'm reading is, and I could be wrong, be more than happy anybody knows more than I do, but for years, the universities, athletes that have attended universities have tried to get compensation for their talents, and the colleges have stopped them from doing that. Stop. See there? Use the word stop, right? So apparently just here, I guess a few years ago, there's an NIL. That's the abbreviation for name, image, likeness. So apparently, if you're a college, even high school degree, but I think this is more focused, on the college, I would say. So if you're a college student and you're a well-known athlete, whether it be basketball, baseball, football, whatever it is, you do have the right for the NIL agreement. And what that means is that if you have sponsors that want to, pay you money for your capabilities, you can collect monies from that, and the university can't shut that down. So that's what I'm reading, and I could be wrong about that. Maybe the universities are paying people, but at the same time, I think, yeah, but these top athletes, they get a free education, right? Hello, right? I mean, you get to go to school because you're such a talented person. So yeah, you get tuition, a free tuition, right? So that in itself is money. But at the same time, this new NIL classification is stating that well-to-do athletes can go out and market themselves, and if they have a name and they have a good image and they have likeness, the social, justice type of image, then they qualify if they have sponsors wanting to pay them to collect monies. And there's a fine line, I think, of them being recognized at the college. I think there's a very fine line how those sponsors let them promote themselves without kind of getting into promoting the college or something. I don't know. It's a little more to it. But yeah, so years ago, the young athletes were stopped from collecting monies, but apparently now today they are, even though we know so many stories of well-known athletes that got back-end money. Yeah, have we heard these stories? Back-end money, somebody did all their schoolwork for them. I mean, it's all about universities having incredible athletic programs that attract people to universities because it radiates success. I mean, that's the thing I've always talked about. Sports is huge, and it radiates success. What was it? Was the Patriots? The Patriots won the Super Bowl, and the Bruins won the hockey game. And then I think the Boston Celtics would have won. It would have been a 3. Somebody's done a 3. I think one city, has done a 3-fer. And then when we had Tampa Bay here just recently, they were hoping the Buccaneers won the championship. And then the Lightning won the championship. And then if the Rays would have won the championship, so you had baseball, football, and hockey, it would have been a winning year. So, and that just radiates it to that city and, that state. The city has its act, that community of people, they got their act together. That's a huge statement. That's what the Patriots, it's a love-hate thing for the Patriots. So the Patriots just were unstoppable for so many years with Tom Brady and Bill Belichick. Yeah, but that stopped. And why did that stop? I mean, there's so many stories of Bill Belichick just running Tom Brady under the table of just totally disrespecting him in meetings, and they'd have a loss. I mean, to me, I felt it was Tom Brady grew up, and he and Bill Belichick just had their time and had their day, and I just think the differences of opinions. And I think that what I read from articles was that Bill Belichick and Tom was just really not the nicest guy to Tom Brady. He just kind of treated him like, I understand that. There's this whole psychological thing about that you put a guy on a pedestal on your team that now gets to be the boss of you. Yeah, see, no way. The leaders don't let that happen. Right, they'll stop that from happening. But anyways, just thought I'd make another video this morning and continue the ongoing morning conversations, which just kind of think things off the tip of my tongue and gather a little information. I'm sure I read some more stuff that I'm just kind of oblivious to what I freaking read. But I thought the Predator motor was pretty cool because I have 2 of those Predator motors. And I think it's even really interesting is how I thought the F-150 Raptor just have the Predator motor in it. And so anyways, thanks for watching my channel, and thoughts and prayers for the Ken Block family, and just beyond belief, 55 years old, and just heartbreaking, really. Just can't even imagine for his daughter. That's just the whole family, so who knows around him. So where does that brand and recognition go? It's really interesting. He just shook hands, I think, with Ford like 2 years ago. I think he broke off on his own for the first time, I guess. The Hoonigan brand. I'm sure that people know him better than I do. So what's this here? It's here. What's going on? So, they're talking about the Fauci. The Fauci had his day, right? So, when do they stop? Look at China. What a fiasco. So for all their lockdown and stopping people from living their regular life for 2 years, to finally open the doors, what did they accomplish besides nothing? Nothing. And now the main concern is the whole China infection's coming back over here again because all these people are jumping on planes left and right. Get the hell out of that country. Heck out of that country. Sorry, youngins. and they're taking a ride to other parts of the world, they're just going to spread the virus all over again. Yeah, when do we stop that, right? Yeah, when do we stop the illegal immigration? Where's that stoppage? Why did they stop building the wall? I mean, yeah, I could talk all day long, right? I know I could. So anyways, thanks everybody for watching my channel. Appreciate the support, nice comments, and God bless, stay safe, and